players were really hurting after Sunday against Burnley. Is that something you can tap into and use to motivate for this game against Southampton?
Yes, but the motivation is that, and after the result that we had in the last few weeks, I've seen the desire and the attitude that the players showed in every game, regardless of the results, and I'm expecting exactly the same on Wednesday, just with a different outcome and winning that football match.
I know that you said to me after the game on Sunday that it's small details that you're working on. How have you gone about trying to rectify them? Is the main problem just putting the ball in the net, as you said to me?
Absolutely, yes.
And how have you gone about trying to rectify that? Because you've got the talent, haven't you?
Trying to practice more, be more accurate, and building that confidence. But in order to do that, you have to score. It's not the same in training as the game. You need to get rid of that block, and then things will flow better.
Looking at Southampton, they're riding high in the table, full of confidence. Not really ideal opponents for you to come up against when you really need a win, are they?
Every opponent is going to be really difficult in the Premier League. We know that they are in a really good moments. They are building something over time, and you see the results and the progression that the team has had. Last year, they had some difficulties for a period. They come through that. They look really strong, and they are a very dangerous team.
You mentioned that they had some difficulties. It is interesting. A year or so ago, they weren't doing so well. They're doing very well now. Does that show that it takes a bit of time for a manager to be able to put his imprint on a club?
It does take time, but as well, I think it's very important to see the historic of that club, where they have been, and the issues that they've been through. I don't like to compare with other clubs because I don't know what happened here. What I know, and we all knew when I took the job here, that this wasn't a quick fix at all. There were too many things here that have to be resolved, too many big decisions to make, a lot of changes that are happening that would have happened. And this takes time. Are we pleased with the results? Absolutely no. And the first one that is so angry and frustrated, because I think as well that we deserve much more than what we have at the moment, but it's our own fault. And we need to look for the future, but knowing that the present as well is really, really important at the moment.
And just finally from me, on the game against Southampton, what are the main characteristics of the way that they play that will pose you the biggest dangers?
Well, it's a really high-pressing team. They are really aggressive, really committed team. They make it really hard for you to build the game up. They are really good in counter-press. The moment they regain the ball, they have some really quick and fast players. And the link-up play in the final thirds is it's really good. And it's a team that is very much alive. And you can see that the manager transmits that passion from the bench, and everybody's aggressive, and they all go. They've been scoring goals, and we need to be aware of that.
Thank you, Mikel.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. We'll move to Carve from Sky, please.
Mikel, Edu backed you today, and of course yesterday Pep Guardiola backed you as well. Do you feel that the players are 100% behind you and united?
My feeling is yes, but this is a question for them, obviously. Again, when I see the reaction and the way they try, it's not one bit that worries me. They are not trying their best, that's for sure. And in terms of Edu and Pep, obviously show their appreciation, because in good moments it's very easy. In difficult moments, when you have people like them giving you support, and probably two people that know very, very well what we've been through here, obviously it's much appreciated.
I saw on television a couple of days ago your game against Burnley was described as a relegation 6-pointer. Do you feel that Arsenal are in a relegation fight? I think the last time you started a season this badly, you ended up finishing 16th. Do you think you are in danger of relegation, or this is just a blip that you're going through at the moment?
I want to think that we are in a blip, and the way we are losing the football matches makes me believe that, but we need to start to win, because if not, you start dropping on the table, and obviously it's not the situation that we want to be in.
And of course, one of the issues has been discipline. I think since you became Arsenal manager, you had double the red cards of any other club. Is there anything you can do to stop this? I know you've spoken about it before and you've said you're going to speak to the players, but it must be very frustrating for you.
Well, we had 6 red cards since I joined. Only 2 have been disciplined, Pepe and Granit. The rest, there were 2 late tackles, one with Eddie against Leicester, the other one against Palace, which it was over. And then there are 2 actions when a player is going through on goal and the defender is trying to prevent the goal. So there are not 6 disciplinary red cards, there are 2, and the 2 have been dealt with.
Obviously, when the fans see the performances in the league table at the moment, they are hurting a lot. How much does this situation hurt you and the players personally?
Well, me personally, I think more than anybody, because I'm the closest here. I feel more responsible than anybody else about the situation, and obviously because it's not what I want. Everything that we can say, at the end of the day, we have to show it on the pitch, getting the results. What I would like to tell the fans is that obviously we are trying and fighting together to put this right. It's the least that we can do. We know that it's not good enough, and we are doing everything we can to change it.
And the final one from me, when things don't go wrong, people obviously look in the mirror and question themselves and what they're doing. Do you ever do that?
Every single day.
And in what? Will you question your own methods?
I question everything, I review everything, I looked at everything we do. How can we do it better? How can we change? How can we help the players more? Every single day. It's a big part of the job. When things are not going well, when you are getting results, when things are not going well, but you are getting results, or the opposite way around too.
And you're 100% confident that you can turn this situation around?
Yes.
Thanks, Carve. We'll move to George from BBC, please.
Thanks, Dan. Hello, Mikel. I just wondered if Granit has spoken to you after the red card. I know Nicklas apologised after the Leeds red card. Has Granit done the same to the team?
Well, whatever happens internally, I'm sorry, but we cannot discuss. It's been resolved internally, and this is what I can say.
Does he still have a future at Arsenal? He's had a few rocky moments over the years. Is this another one that he needs to come through?
It has, and it's not the only one. There is a lot of players that have rocky moments. What I can say about Granit is his professionalism and his commitment with the club and with his team. It's maximal. He knows, and we all know that he had a moment where he's lost it, and I know the reason why. But what I cannot do is just throw everything that he's done away because he's made a mistake. We all make mistakes, and I'm here as well to protect the players when I see that that they deserve it, and for sure Granit is one of them for the way that he approaches every training session, the way he wants to do things in the right way all the time, and the professional that he is.
You said about it not being a quick fix. It sounds like the board agree with you. Is this something you've discussed about the problems that this club face?
On Thursday, before looking for the future, you have to look at the past and the things that have happened, how you're going to move these things forward, the things that are working, the things that have to be changed. And we all knew the bumps were coming. I think I said it many times in this room. It's how we deal with them, how strong we are to get through them. And sometimes when things get ugly, are necessary to get brighter and better. But for sure, nobody likes to be in the situation we are in the Premier League, and it's not good enough, and it's not acceptable. So that's not, the fact that it's not a quick fix doesn't mean that we are accepting the situation. It's the contrary.
You won the FA Cup, back in August. How's it got to this stage so soon that you was beating Man City, you beat the Premier League champions Liverpool, and now you're on this run that you can't seem to get out of?
Because this is football. And I looked at some results that we had and comparing against the same opponent, how we played against Burnley and we got a draw, and how we played against Burnley and we lost the game. And I'm sorry, this is football, but we deserve to win this game. Probably we didn't deserve to get a draw at Burnley last year. But there are emotions, there is the confidence, there is the details that happens in football, and sometimes it's difficult to explain, but it's how this sport works as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, George.
Thank you.
Thanks, George. Ian from TalkSport.
Hi, Mikel. How are you? Up to the beginning, the end of the season, the cup win and everything, things were going well, and all these press conferences where you were smiling a lot more than you are now. Are you feeling under pressure right now?
I feel the pressure all the time, and when we had those spells, everything has not been beautiful, and the last few months of last summer, there were a lot of difficult moments, believe me. It wasn't everything nice and easy and enjoyable. But obviously, when you are winning, you create a different mood, and then the pressure once you win is to win again, and the pressure always going to exist. I prefer that pressure when you are always thinking about winning and going into the next trophy. But this is our reality right now, and we have to face it, and we have to face it being brave, fighting, and no one giving up or anything, because it's not time to hide. It's time to put your face and the body in the line. And at the moment, I'm sorry, but we have to take the bullets. We are not winning football matches, and you have to put your chest there and hit me, because you have the right to hit me, because I'm not winning. So what else can I do? Put my head down, work harder, and I try to do things better and improve. It's how we have to approach it, in my opinion.
Is that how you feel, that you have to take it on the chest? You have to take the bullets, because the players can't. I mean, I can't blame Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. I can't blame Bernardo. I can't blame players individually. So is it right that all the criticism goes your way?
It's natural. I accept it, and it's part of the job. And it's when you're not getting results, at the end of the day, it's the manager who has the maximum responsibility to do it. So that's why I accept them, because you can say whatever you want to explain, but at the end you have to win football matches, and this club is too big to accept these many losses in the last weeks. So my chest is here, and hit me, guys.
Thanks, Ian.
Can I just ask one more? And it's a bit of a thorny issue, but yeah, you've got a lot of young players you could bring back into the team and have done well in the Europa League. But also, we're only a few weeks away from January when you can refresh your squad. And will it be time to rethink a decision from the summer and maybe put Mesut Ozil back in your squad to try and change things around, to try and freshen things up and give you that bit of guile that the team maybe is missing?
We will address the situation when that window opens and see what we do. Now, sorry, Ian, but I am just focusing on tomorrow's game.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ian. We'll move to Nick from Haters.
Morning, Mikel. In your experience as a player, around the world, how important is it for a successful manager to be popular amongst his players? Does it matter?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I was saying, does it matter if a manager is popular or not amongst his squad? Do you have to be their friend, or what does that relationship
I
have
wouldn't
to be?
say you have to be a friend, but I think you need a level of chemistry and understanding and a relationship, because at the end, what you have to build, it has to be expressed by those players. They have to believe in what you are trying to transmit to them, and as well, they have to trust you as a man. And your word has to have a meaning when you speak to them. It's not really things they don't get into them.
Are you aware of those reports that say there are some unhappy players? Obviously, Mesut and Socrates and players who have been sent out on loan. What do you make of those?
Well, I said it many times. When you have the squad that we have at the moment for different circumstances, it's impossible to have 31 happy players in the camp. It's absolutely impossible. I don't know any club in the world who has them. But obviously, when you lose again, these things are going to come out to try to put more pressure or be disruptive. I'm not interested in any of that.